Or is it like a dude?
It's a bison. It's a fuck.
What are you?
Oh, I
don't know where he went. He's on the table. He's on the table. It's okay.
He's alive.
He's okay.
Flush him,
Okay.
please. Guys,
hello.
Welcome back to another episode. Is it episode 14?
14.
I said I was gonna wear a jersey for 14.
Because that was your number, yeah.
It is my number. I don't have a jersey. I'm not my partner. All my stuff is at home. You know what we said
Just
that?
pretend.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Just pretend. Imagine Kelsey in number 14 jersey.
Just wanted to say, because I don't want to forget. We are recording this episode on, it's Thursday, October 10th, and it is World National Mental Health Day.
World National?
Cut that. It is World Mental Health Day. I also have a slight lisp with my Invisalign in.
It's okay. You're still cute.
Aw, thanks. With my dimple.
With your dimple.
One dimple.
Your dimp. Anyways, before we jump into all of that, we have a couple of things of news we're going to talk about.
That's so new heights.
It might be copyright.
I didn't even finish the sentence.
So yeah, we got some news we're going to talk about, and we've got other things. But happy to be here. We didn't get together last week, scheduling conflicts. So
yeah, it was Mackenzie. Oh, sorry.
Dab me up.
Sorry, no, that's what you're trying to do.
Thank you.
It was Sav's sister's birthday.
Yes, she turned 30, so it was a big deal.
When my sister turned 30, she said she wanted to have a funeral theme party because she was saying goodbye to her 20s and it was officially scary season. But she's like thriving in her 30s.
Good for her.
Like, I would say she's doing better in her 30s than she was in her 20s.
Good for her. For my sister's birthday, we went to a restaurant and got a really big margarita. And
how big is really big?
It was in a big, like, martini glass looking thing.
You all share it?
Yeah, well.
Like, you all had straws?
Yes, but.
That's how COVID happens.
But only me and my sister drank it, really, truly. And we have the same
Was
judge.
she cocked?
We both were.
That's crazy.
Because I'm back on I'm no longer sober. But it's okay. I'm better about my alcohol consumption now.
I still am.
And
I don't drink. I've always been.
Then after that, we went to another restaurant/bar, and
You dead bar hopped?
Yeah, me and my sister, her husband, my girlfriend, and my mom and dad, we bar hopped across the street to do trivia. We had trivia to do, and the trivia was dumb. And this girl, this girl, I won't say anything much more other than that, but there was a person there who was a girl who worked at the restaurant. And
name drop the restaurant.
I'm not name dropping her, and I'm not name dropping the restaurant because if this comes back to me, I don't need that in my life.
Oh, this was a you problem? I thought you were going to say this was a her problem.
Well, it's a mutual problem, I'd say, because when we were younger, we played. I think.
You know the girl.
Oh, I know her. We go way back. We played lacrosse together, I believe, and she was just like never nice to me. And then, I feel as though she was never nice to me. And then, we, like, grew up, and she was always hanging around. Like, we were always kind of, like, near each other in the same circles. And then we saw her at the restaurant, and we walk in, and she says hello to me. So, maybe we don't have beef, but she says hello to me. And I'm, like, trying to be nice. And then she walks away, and I turn to my girlfriend, like, I had to give her the whole rundown about this girl. But I'm sure we don't have beef. I'm sure I'm just dramatic.
Someone in my at my job, because I work with kids, someone used to tell me that if you have, so like in for this instance, I could be wrong. So like he said that we have beef. So because Jordan is associated to you, and you have beef with that girl, that means that girl and Jordan have turkey. No, it makes sense, right?
It makes sense.
And then like if you don't have beef, then it's like we have ham.
Oh,
but
what's the left? Like is ham is less than beef? Or
no, I would say it go beef, ham, turkey.
Beef's at the top, like the most intense.
Beefy, yeah.
And
Right, that makes sense. Beefy.
Beefy. And then ham.
Ham.
Where it's just like you're a little mad. Like me. I think we have more ham than we have beef. Me and
Okay,
this
well then
person.
she probably has like low sodium turkey. I couldn't even say it.
It's a tofurkey. Oh my god. Anyways, now let's get back on to the things we have to accomplish today, such as we'll switch it up today. Where can people find us and us?
Oh, I don't like when we switch it up. I'm a routine gal.
Oh, sorry.
Y'all can find us on you can find us on he's really cute. Did you see him? Wait, show him.
Are we talking about Brock Purdy? I just
that
spent
wasn't
like 5
Brock
minutes
Purdy.
talking about how he's a little cutie.
That wasn't Brock Purdy. That was that guy. Hold on, wait.
Isn't that DK Metcalf?
Is that DK?
Isn't he number 14? Yeah.
Oh my god, DK Metcalf's cute.
We have the football game on. It's Thursday night. Anyways.
Where can they find us, Sam?
Oh, my turn?
I can't
They can find us on... Oh, that guy? I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I don't think that's Metcalf.
No, that's not... He's not even on the right team. We're keeping getting sidetracked!
Sorry, yeah, he's in a 49ers hat.
Because he's not DK Metcalf. We were watching the clip and they were showing DK Metcalf.
This all makes more sense.
Yes, I don't know who that guy is. So anyways, you can find us on Instagram, on Twitter /X, Facebook, TikTok, any of those good old spots at Game Changers ETB. You can also subscribe to the Empty the Bench Network at youtube.com/ETB Network. That's where this show will be and all the other shows. And I don't think I'm missing any. I think I got them all. We're at Game Changers ETB or youtube.com/ETB Network.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a burp.
So you know how Sav and I are like watching football right now? Sometimes people spend too much of their time watching sports alone.
Yeah, because I'm not watching with you, so you're alone watching.
And you know what we say to that?
What do we say?
Presented by Playback.
Playback.
Watching sports is more fun with others, but we spend too much of our time watching alone. Womp. Womp. Playback is a virtual space where communities can stream live sports together with everyone perfectly synced up. Creators can hop on stage, deliver their own play-by-play analysis and commentary, and invite viewers up for the Q&A. Playback makes watching sports fully interactive and a social experience. From playing fantasy sports, repping your favorite players and teams, and watching with the commenters and communities you care about, win or lose sports are best enjoyed together. Join our community by going to playback.tv/ETV Network to find out more, including our live stream schedule. Whoop-bam!
There's your guy.
Oh, Fred Warner.
Kelsey thinks he's cute.
He just has I'm drawn to really nice teeth and like really good smiles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because I am like so close to getting my perfect smile. Mm-hmm. And he has like, I mean, you can tell he's got like veneer perfect smile. Mm-hmm. Would you ever get veneers?
I have veneers on my 2 front teeth.
Would you get a full rack?
Probably not. I think I would look silly.
Why do you have smile? Why do you have veneers?
When I was in the 4th grade, 5th grade, mm-hmm. This kid hit me in the face with a tennis racket and my 2 front teeth broke and fell out. So they had to replace them.
Oh.
I got them but then they capped them, and then when I was in high school, they give me those veneers. I had to shave them down. I looked really funny for a little bit. I took a little picture. I took a selfie in the dentist chair.
I had scars under my eyes because I got hit with a baseball bat when I was younger.
Are you okay?
In the moment, it was pretty scary. I think my mom almost had a heart attack because I was bleeding and I got hit with a baseball bat.
Yeah, it was so fun.
But the doctors in the hospital told me that I was really good, and then I handled it like a champ.
Proud of you.
Type.
Proud of you. All right. News of the week. We don't have a lot, but what is important to note, also, before we even start, Kelsey and I, along with Nick, who is our producer and the guy who pulls the strings behind the shoot, every time you see the little banner at the bottom change, that's our boy Nick, so shout out to him. We did a playback stream a week ago.
Yeah, it was last Sunday.
We did a playback stream last Sunday. So
no, I'm lying. Not this past Sunday. The Sunday beforehand.
All right, we did a playback stream on one Sunday one time ago, and it was really fun. We talked about gummy bears And we talked. I showed everybody my standing desk, my new standing desk.
I talked about how geographically challenged I am.
Yeah, we talked about how Kelsey needs a little bit. How Kelsey needs to hit the book. She needs to hit the encyclopedias. So all that to say.
Now I'm curious, how many people are actually geographically smart? Like, is this just something people know? Because the people that I'm around, aside from like my family, like my brother and there's 2 bugs up there.
They're little and they're specks of dirt. Don't even worry about them.
Oh no!
Or go get the vacuum and do it live on the pod.
Okay.
No way. All right,
I won't be able to do it.
Well, anyways, here my time in the spotlight. Hi, everybody. So all that to say.
You said my spotlight.
Yeah, I did. I moved over. I'm right in the middle. All this to say.
I've been waiting for this moment.
All this to say that no, I'm trying to say things.
This one's a spider and he's being kind of a pain. Can you get me a tissue?
Yeah, where are your tissues? Ah! Did you get it?
No.
Here, I got you 2 tissues.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to. Why is this couch like unbalanced?
Look,
like you step here.
where do I put this couch?
I don't know. Wait, Seth.
What do you mean you don't know? This is your vacuum.
Why can't I stand on this couch?
I don't know what your problem is. Now I have the vacuum. Oh, I hit your computer with it.
I'm not.
This is fun. Is this a Dyson? Or is it like a dude?
It's a bison. It's a. Fuck.
What are you?
Oh, I
don't know where he went. Oh, he's on the table. He's on the table. It's okay.
He's alive.
He's okay.
Flush him,
Okay.
please.
Here's your vacuum.
Why is this couch a freaking trampoline? Like you stepped one way and then you got shot across the other way. Oh God. Anyone else sweating? No? No one else is sweating?
I'm a little sweaty. I think just because I'm hot. Because feel it inside my jacket. It's nice.
Oh, she
This
found
was a TJ Maxx purchase. All right. Anyways,
We're so back. Sorry.
As I was literally saying, all of that to say, we have done a playback stream in the past. The WNBA finals are coming up, so there's potential to do more. If you're interested in watching, we'll do it. It's as simple as that.
Do you guys want to see Sabina's vlog?
GC Vlogs.
Game Changer Vlogs.
GC Vlogs.
I recently spoke to someone in line somewhere, and he was just like, oh, I do content creating. And I was like, oh my God, I want a vlog. And it was the nicest thing ever. He goes, oh, you got the face for it. I was like,
Right, yeah.
thanks. Do I got the personality for it though?
Who knows? But
I guess we'll never know. We'll probably find out.
All right, news time. So like I just said, WNBA finals. They started on October 10th, which is today, the day we're recording. New York Liberty versus Minnesota Lynx. Basically the number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed. Well, not number 2. They might have been number 3. Doesn't matter. Not important. They finished in the regular season like 1 and 2, so that's why I'm saying it that way. But we either way will witness some WNBA history because the New York Liberty have not won a title since they started in the league 27 years ago. And if Minnesota wins, they will be the first WNBA team to have 5 titles. Thank you. Okay. What are your thoughts? Any thoughts to share? Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think's going to perform well? Who do you think's going to choke? Who are you excited to see?
I think Minnesota's going to choke.
You think Minnesota's going to choke? You think the Liberty are going to sweep?
I would like.
Sweep. Mop. Vacuum?
Oh, we didn't put that together?
I literally put it on the ground.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I'm excited, I think, the most. I think on Minnesota, Tisha Heidemann and Courtney Williams have been on teams. They were both on the Connecticut Sun when Connecticut Sun lost in 2019 and in 2022. So I'm excited to see them have the opportunity. First of all, excited. It was nice to, or not nice. it was cool to watch them beat the Connecticut Sun to move on. But I think it'd be cool to see them finally get their WNBA championship rings and whatnot because, you know, they don't have them yet, and they've been so close so many times.
Yeah. That's fair. Gotta talk about the next one. Team USA wins first ever box lacrosse world championship. This was so sick. I also want to learn how to play box. I feel like you would be filthy at box.
I probably would be filthy at box.
We should try and find a box league. I was talking to another coach who we actually play against. She's another I almost put us on blast. She's another coach who we play against, and she's like, yeah, I really want to do box. She's like, after my knee surgery, though.
Okay.
You have no idea what I said.
No, I don't. But that's okay. No. Oh, I remember her. Anyways, I'm important. Sorry, we're talking about other things, but box lacrosse is it's historic for many reasons that there was a box lacrosse tournament in the first place. If you know anything about the sport of lacrosse, box lacrosse is a bit different. They basically play in, like, imagine a hockey rink that's a little smaller.
And not on ice.
It's on turf. And actually, I guess I don't know if it's smaller or not. Whatever, not important. The goals are a little smaller.
The goalies are
padded up. And they used because girl sticks and guy sticks are different. Girl sticks have no pocket, and guy sticks do. But in the box lacrosse, everybody used a guy stick with a pocket. And it's just crazy to watch. And I guess I didn't realize what I learned a lot through this is I follow this lacrosse player. Her name is Megan Kinna.
I follow her too.
Yeah, I follow Megan Kinna, and I didn't know literally anything about box lacrosse, but she posts a lot about it because she played box lacrosse before she played field regular lacrosse. And so it was just cool to watch. And a lot of the big names from Team USA Lacrosse were on the box lacrosse team. Charlotte North was on the team. What's her name? Was the goalie? Kayla Waters.
Megan Kinna actually Kinna.
Megan Kinna, come be on the podcast. We'll send you a DM or something.
That'd be so cool. She just posted this crazy, her variations of BTB today. Or at least it was on my feed today. And she did one. It was BTB low high. And she literally went side arm behind the back, low, and it hit a top left high. And I was like, oh my God, you're filthy.
Damn, that's nasty. So yeah, cool for them. Happy for them. Hopefully the box lacrosse world championship happens more frequently. There also were a lot of countries in it, obviously. But what I always love about lacrosse, I think compared to all the other sports out there, is that lacrosse does a really good job of honoring where it comes from. So every time they do a world championship or, an international type of play, there's always a Native American team, the Henedusani, something like that. I don't want to butcher the name. I don't want to butcher the name, obviously, because that's disrespectful. But they were there. I think they made it to the Final Four. It was them, Australia, USA and Canada.
Which I have a feeling that will pretty much be your lineup at the Olympics too. It's been like that for a long time. Like those teams.
Yeah, and Hong Kong was there. England was there. I think Finland was there.
Did they send to Ireland?
There might have, because they did I guess I'd have to go back to the video to make sure of it, but they played the United States and the United States knocked them out. But I guess in Irish culture they'll do I don't want to compare it to a haka because it's not a haka obviously, but they and Team USA joined together and the Ireland team sang a song and whatever. Cool. So it's very cool. Anyways, getting off topic here, but shout out to Team USA and shout out to the sport of lacrosse growing, and women are finally finding their footing in box lacrosse and putting it kind of on the map here. So
yeah,
some good stuff.
Cool beans, dude.
All right,
let's cruise through this. Let's get to the good stuff.
Ready for the next one?
Yeah, you want?
Sure. So next piece of news: Caitlin Clark, the reigning WNBA Rookie of the Year, is going to play in an LPGA Pro-Am. Which I didn't really know this, but I guess Caitlin Clark's kind of nasty. on the golf course.
Is she actually?
That's
what her
that's what the
handicap
people are
is.
saying.
I want to know what her handicap is.
I bet you we can find it.
Probably.
But yeah, she's playing in the Pro-Am. And I think it'll just be fun. I don't know anything about golf. Well, that's not true. I straight up just lied. Sorry, everybody.
I was going to say, you worked for a golf network.
Yeah, I did for a little bit. I have never golfed in my life. And Kelsey one time tried to get me to go golfing with her, and I just didn't go.
She did not go. I'm trying to go this weekend. Move on.
Well, I'm looking up her handicap.
Oh, yeah. Quick Googles.
Excuse me. Oh, it says she doesn't.
She doesn't have one?
Yeah. According to Essentially Sports.
She's out here just for a good time. One of those.
Yeah, I guess so.
Cool. Well, in that case. Orlando Pride has its first ever piece of hardware, the NWSL Shield.
Yes. So the Orlando Pride have never won anything. And in 2019, they finished in the bottom of the league. And now this year, they have finished at the top of the league. So they win the Shield. And the Shield is basically given to the team that does the best in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why they won it is because the Orlando Pride are undefeated. They are undefeated, 17-0. I think it's 17-0. Let me
I thought it was 17-0.
But Marta, who we've talked about
several times, yeah.
She scored the only goal in the game, and then so they were playing the Washington Spirit, and the Washington Spirit owned gold, and that's how they won that game. So yeah, now they're undefeated, and they're moving on. And we just got word that the rumor is that Caitlin Clark has a handicap of 10. And Golf Digest reported that she can shoot in the, quote, low 80s. So, good for her, I guess. There was a loud car that just drove by.
I know. That's actually impressive. Damn. Okay.
What? Oh, I was going to say, is that it? We have one more.
Yeah, we have one more. Right?
Yeah.
USWNT and Washington Spirit player Andi Sullivan out remainder of season. Oh, with a torn ACL.
Yeah, it's very tough. Tough blow. Because
It's going to be a long 8 months.
the Washington Spirit, like we just said, they were playing for the Shield. Trinity Rodman's on that team, but she's hurt, or she was hurt. They've got a couple other players. But yeah, this is just like another blow. Which sucks because,
Yeah, it's a
they
impact player.
are very good. So
I was going to say impact player.
what are you gonna do? I guess just how the cookie crumbles.
One might say womp womp.
One might say womp womp.
Womp freaking womp.
Wompity womp womp
Wow,
womp.
chicka, wow, wow. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, that was a little out there, bestie, but
All
you do
right.
your thing.
Segment dos.
Yeah, moving on. Woo!
Solid 20 minutes of this.
Well, I don't know if it's a solid 20 minutes. We did get a little sidetracked.
This is true. I'm just being mindful of that.
Of the time. Yeah, I get you. Oh, look at there's Brock Purdy. I keep saying it. He's a little cutie.
He is a little cutie.
He's just like a little guy, you know? I want to just put him in my pocket.
You just want to give him a little hug.
Yeah, I just want to put him in my pocket.
Like, hey, buddy, you good?
Have you seen the video of him getting knocked to the ground and then he throws a pass and it's a touchdown and he goes to the camera? He's like, ah! And then he goes, hi, Mom.
No, it's adorable. I want to find that.
Yes, hi, Mom.
Okay, mental health check-in.
Mental health check-in. So yeah, like Kelsey said at the beginning of the pod, today on the day that we are recording, which is October 10th, is World Mental Health Day. And Kelsey and I have previously done kind of get a little more personal, talk about our lives and things like that. And so we figured on today, it just kind of feels like the right thing to do, to kind of do a check-in with each other and also just talk about mental health in terms of how we are with it ourselves, since we're both coaches, how we help our players out with whatever they may need. And yeah. So where do you want to start? How are you? How should we check in? You want me to check in? I'm checking in! Checking in!
It reminds me of when they do their zone.
Checking in!
Checking in! I'm leaving!
I make them say it.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I could be better, to be completely honest with you. Like, today I'm okay, and, like, in the past couple days I've been okay, but, like, earlier this week I was kind of really not.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm really struggling with the fact that here we go, everybody.
Sure, I know what's coming out of that mouth.
In case you don't know this about me, I am a journalist, and I write.
It's not funny. It's not funny.
It's not funny, but
she's laughing.
Yeah, my girlfriend Jordan is sitting over here because she was the one who had to deal with most of it earlier this week. Love you, honey. Mwah. So I'm a journalist, and so I went to college. I graduated. I got my master's in journalism. I graduated from that. And then, so I graduated in August of 23. In December of 23, I started my first job. I was on the breaking news desk at a very well-known publication, I will say, in terms of, I guess, well-known for good reasons and bad reasons. But to kind of just sum it up, I was laid off in March.
It wasn't just her.
Yeah, the whole, everybody was laid off. It
Yeah.
wasn't just me. Everybody on staff. Was laid off. They sold the website. And that sucked, to kind of put it as lightly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I've been on the job hunt for the last 6 months, and like, it's starting to get to a point where everybody I worked with has kind of rebounded and gotten a job somewhere, and I'm the only one who kind of hasn't. And, you know, I think a lot about, like, over these last 6 months, I'm like, I've hit points where I'm like, I'm ready, like, to give it up. Like, I need to change careers. I need something. I need a job.
Mm-hmm.
I need to work. And, you know, I don't want to because I love this industry.
And you're good at it.
I'm like, I truly love and care about journalism so deeply. I can't see myself really doing anything else with my life. And, like, I've started freelancing in other areas and, like, doing other things to kind of keep up with it. But, like, at the end of the day, freelancing doesn't pay the bills. And, like, I don't know. It's tough. It's a tough spot to be in. And I'm sure anybody out there listening who has been laid off, you kind of know the feelings as well. But then, like, I have moments, like, I just started freelancing for another website. And, like, I have an interview tomorrow with somebody for a story.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I haven't interviewed somebody in, like, 6 months. You know what I mean? Like,
so you're excited?
I'm excited to do it, but, like, those are the things I miss. And, like, if I had a job, like, I could do it more often, obviously. Mm-hmm. But, like, the problem is so many people in this industry are laid off, and, like, so many people are all finding the same jobs, and it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
So I was having a really off day earlier this week, just kind of thinking about it. And I also, like, I get a little, like, irritated when I have a plan in my head and it doesn't happen the way I pictured it. So, like, if I don't wake up at a good time, like, then my day is all set back and, like, all this other stuff. But then I'm also, like, I don't wake up on time because I'm up all night doing other things, and then I wake up at 11:45, and then, like, the cycle just continues.
Mm-hmm.
So I've started writing a schedule for myself as of this week. And every night I check off what I've done, and it kind of helps me figure it all out. But, like, in terms of right now, like, at this very moment, like, I feel okay. I'm feeling fine. Earlier this week was definitely tough, and the last 6 months have been kind of tough in its own way. But, you know, every day's a new day, and just keep on trucking, you know?
Love you big time, dude.
Love you too. How are you?
Chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I have a harder time with talking about stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Only
talk about what you feel comfortable talking about. You don't have to go too deep. You don't owe anybody that.
Whoa, are there Northern Lights tonight?
Oh, yeah, somebody was saying that.
Yeah, my family just sent pictures in the group chat of Northern Lights.
Oh, shit.
Look at
you can really see them in those pictures.
Holy crap. Damn.
Anyways.
The
Aurora Borealis.
The Aurora Borealis. As my mom would say, peaks and valleys.
Yeah,
Peaks and valleys. Sure. I think if I can get a better job at recognizing when I'm at a burning point, and how to deal with that, I feel like everything would be a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, I'm at a weird point. I don't know. I'm at a really weird point in my life where I don't know. Like, I don't know how to describe it. I love my job. I love what I'm doing. I love where I'm at. I love my family. I love my friends. And then like, but balancing it is really, really hard. And I'm definitely not good at that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's,
sorry. I had a little sniffle.
Balancing that is definitely not easy. And just balancing, you know, being 23, I feel like a broken record when I say that. Like, it's really hard being 23 because I see other people my age and they're like literally out every single weekend doing all sorts of things. And like, I don't really have a desire to do that. But at the same time, I want to be like in the work world. I'm 23 and I should have a job, and I do. But then it's like, I just don't ever want to be like, oh, I missed out on that. Yeah. I think that's one of my biggest things is like, I don't want to like miss out, because I think for me with college, it was so funky because it was COVID. And then, I went to school locally, so I wasn't in a dorm, which was my choice. I absolutely wanted to do that. I want to be home. I am a homebody. But in terms of like that, like quote unquote, like college experience, I didn't get that. I only had like a glimpse of it for a little bit. So yeah, I'm trying to be a lot more thoughtful with what I'm doing and like plans, because I don't ever want to miss out, but I'm not balancing it well, I'll say.
That's okay.
Especially with work, because like when it picks up, it picks up. Like we have a huge event on Monday. I'm working. Literally, my hours, I've worked over them every single day for the last 2 weeks. I'm working Sunday. I'm working Saturday. Like, it's just hard. And then like throw on top coaching. I mean, we're both coaches, and like everyone's like, oh, coaching is fun. And don't get me wrong. Like I tell people all the time, like, I work during the day and then I get to coach in the afternoon, and often coaching in the afternoon is not, though it's still working, it like doesn't feel like work. Sometimes it's like what you look forward to all day, but like the off season, there's so much work that's been going on in the off season. Like yesterday, it was like one of our girls, I'll fill you in on this later, had a really good conversation with a college coach. And she's like asking me for my opinion, because when a college coach reaches out to you and offers you, essentially you have to act fast or else they'll pull the offer. And this coach literally gave her a 24-hour deadline. And she's like calling my opinion right away. And it was like my one time where I got to go home and I was walking my dog, and she's calling me, and it's 6:30 at night. So it's like right when you don't want to be working anymore, you're working. So yeah, I'm struggling in that aspect, but I'm very thankful. Like if you think about it in short, my problem right now is that I have so many lovely people around me, and I'm stressed out and I don't know how to balance them.
Yeah, that's all right. I think I just, because I know you, I know that like you're just gonna like, it's gonna all work out, because it always does. Like Kelsey texted me this morning and she was like, I'm having a tough day. Stop hitting the microphone in the table. Jesus, now we're crooked. There we go. Sorry, everybody. Kelsey texted me this morning talking about how she was having like a rough day, and you know she has had some rough stuff going on. And all I said was just like, you've gone through every single shit day so far. What's one more? Which is, you know, maybe not the world's best advice, but I know
it's true.
That's like the type of stuff that gets through to you. I know.
Yeah.
So like,
she's so right. She's coaching me up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think like you're gonna be okay. Like it's gonna all.
So are you.
I know I'm gonna be okay. Like eventually I'm gonna get a job and whatever. But also like every day I go to bed and I'm like, I should change careers.
No.
I should have gone to school and done something boring.
No. Because here's the thing. If you did that, like, I don't know. I'm gonna say something that like my parents would say to me and that like my nanny would say to me, is that like everything happens for a reason. And like, not to bring this into it, but like, I don't know. I feel like whatever you believe in, so like for me, I believe in God. Like God puts certain things in certain ways in certain times. And I feel like if you give it up, you're just gonna be end up missing that one big thing. Like you're too good at what you do to not do it.
Thanks.
And like, I mean that. Like sometimes I'm like, am I in the right career? Because like I'm just figuring it out still. But like for you it makes sense. You know that shit by the back of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like as outsider looking in, like even when you do the rundown, like even like when you
people are laughing in the hallways.
It's pre-study hall, so they're like freaking out right now. Like even with this dude, like you're so well rounded and you know everything. You do the rundown, like you're so just like I don't know, it's fascinating.
Well, I appreciate that. I think it's just like it's tough. And when you were saying like, you know, I'm 23 and like whatever, like I'm 25 and like you see these people who are doing all these things. Like everybody I know works. Like all of my close friends all work. They all live on their own. They can pay their bills. They can do all this stuff. They don't live at home with their parents. Like I'm the only one. And that's the kind of the stressful part of it is like, you know, I want to move on with my life. Like I'm ready to move out of my parents' house. I'm ready to move in with my girlfriend. I'm ready to get a dog. Like I'm ready to do all of these things, but I can't do any of it if I don't have a job. Like I'm ready to get engaged. Like I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this stuff.
Oh, Jay.
But like I don't have the money. I can't afford a ring. I can't afford an apartment. I can't afford any of this stuff. And like, you know, I'm just like, and everybody, you know, always is like, you know, don't grow up too fast. Don't grow up too fast. Like, you know, it goes by, your lifetime goes by so quickly. But it's like, you know, I feel like I've been waiting for like these moments of like living on my own and doing all these things. And the frustrating part about it is that like, obviously I have no control over the fact that I don't have a job anymore because, you know, it wasn't my choice. I didn't choose to get laid off. So that's like the hard part for me is just like I'm watching all these people around me like doing all the things I want to do, and I just feel very stuck and like not in the spot that I need to be. But you know, hopefully, like you're saying, like that big break will come.
Yeah, I will.
And
she's gonna make a lot of money, and then you better help me out.
Yeah, I got you. Whatever you need. But and to bring it back to sports because you know.
That's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. Kelsey and I are both coaches. We say it every goddamn episode.
Hey, if you didn't know, you don't know. Now you know.
Yeah, if you don't know, now you know. And like, you know, keep it in your brain. But Kelsey and I coached high school this past spring. And then over the summer, I coached 7th grade. You coached high school still. Kelsey's still with high school this fall. I've been moved to 5th grade, which is a lot of
challenging. I will say, I am still with high school, but I am with the freshmen, and like I think I would almost rather 5th grade because freshman is such a whack ass age, bro. You don't realize it. So like, not to toot my own horn. But the teams that I've coached in the past, Division I kids. I had 2 on my club team. I have probably 3 on my high school team now, like Division I kids. And not that it's not like, oh, skill-wise, like this isn't where I'm going with this. But like when you have a Division I kid, they get the little things. They have the mindset, right? Of like, this needs to be done. This is how I should act. I should get the extra reps, blah, 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 blah. They're like asking questions, going through, like the IQ is just there. Tell me why my freshmen, I go to run them our play, the one that we called Duke, that you came up with. And I said, all right, this is a play. What do you guys want to call it? And they're like, I don't know. And I was like, oh, where I'm from, we call it Duke. And she goes, can we please call it Dookie? Ugh, brother, no. Like, I literally was just like, no, we can't.
Yeah, we'll have to talk because after this, without the cameras rolling, because I'll have to talk to you about stuff that happened after practice last week. I just remembered it, but not important.
About me?
No. Just in general.
Oh, word.
But
I'm so curious now. Let's wrap this up.
No, we still got time. We're not done talking. For me, so. With the kids that I've had and the positions I've been in, I've only been an assistant. I was your assistant for high school. I was Scout, if you guys remember Scout, when Scout came on the pod.
Scout, we love and we miss you.
We love and we miss you, Scout. Let us know if you want to come back.
Please come back.
I was Scout's assistant over the summer. So there wasn't a lot, like the players didn't interact with me as much as they interacted with you or Scout. So I never really had
your own team.
Yeah, until now. Now I have the 5th graders. I am the 5th grade coach. And I feel it's such an interesting age group because they are younger, obviously, but it's like they're young. So again, about lacrosse, 5th grade is the first year the kids can play on an 11v11 full field.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the first year I believe they can modified
below the shoulder.
So they're really excited to do those things. Like they're excited in practice to check. They're excited to do, full field type of things. And I feel really bad for them because we don't have enough players to field the team. For our tournament coming up, we have to combine with the older group, which is going to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to do all these things. So for a while, they've been not stuck, I shouldn't say that, but they've been grouped with the younger kids, the 3rd and 4th graders, who don't play on a full field and can't check.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had to deal a lot with these kids getting frustrated
mm-hmm.
because, and some of them, I think the frustration comes from other areas. But the big bulk of it is kind of well, I don't want these kids to have as much fun playing lacrosse because they're so young. They're so impressionable. They're so they're little lacrosse players that I get to mold into who they are, and they'll move on in the next age group. But they get to spend some time with me, and we get to have some fun, and we get to play sister, and duck, duck, goose, and have some fun because they're still young enough to that's fun to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a lot of mental health things, but I do see their frustration. They come to practice and they just want to they want to learn and they want to get better, which is good. It just stinks that there's some limitations on some of that stuff. And with our high school team that Kelsey and I coached with, we had a whole month.
We did a whole workshop.
Yeah, where we did a lot of mental health stuff. We had
I made them think.
Yeah, we played a game. It was very close, and we lost. And that was kind of the tip of the iceberg. The Club Penguin iceberg, it got tipped. And that was that game. That's what that was for us.
That game, they still talk about it. We say that other school's name, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
We're not talking about that.
Yeah. It hurt, and it was a tough loss. I mean, I'm not going to speak for Kelsey and everybody else, but I told the kids this when it happened. I was like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel fucking sick to my stomach.
Literally.
I feel like I could throw up right now. That's the type of loss we had.
I said the same thing. I said, I wasn't even playing that game, and it was my worst loss ever. And I wasn't even playing in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was so close of a game, and it was so crazy of a game that it was a regular season game, and there's no shot clock in our high school group yet, and they were up by 1. Both teams they were 2-man down, up by 1, and no shot clock. Player held onto the ball, and when the buzzer ran out, again, literally cemented. She's shaking her head. It's cemented. I see that piece of the field still, and I swear to God, I twitch. Regular season of the game, the other opposing team, they realize that they just won this game, scoops up the ball, and launches it in the air as if she just won the Stanley Cup.
You would think that they just won the NCAA Division I National Championship in the pouring rain.
And blood, sweat, grit,
that was what it was, and it was just so sickening.
And our girls felt it. They felt it.
And to be totally honest, and I don't care if this gets me in trouble or whatever. I was that kid's parent. I'd have some words. If I was that kid's coach, I'd have some words.
Yeah. So then that coach, I don't agree with her letting her players do that, but it's fine.
Yeah. But I mean, so that was the start of our season, and we all felt that loss for days. We talked about it for days, and with Kelsey's team, and different from my experience as a high school athlete, there were weeks that I had 5 games a week. Kelsey's team plays at most 3 games a week.
Mm-hmm.
So we had that game, and then we had a whole full week until another game.
And boy,
did we do a lot of thinking that week. Just because a loss, I think it kind of came from us a little bit in terms of we had that loss, and we felt how we felt, and the kids instantly saw how we felt, and I think they also knew we could have done certain things better, and we wouldn't be in this position because we could have won, but we felt so god awful,
Mm-hmm.
and it rubbed off on them, and then they started to question, like, am I good at lacrosse?
Mm.
Are we good? Is our like, what does this mean for the rest of the season? How do we bounce back? What do we do? Blah 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 blah. And so I think it was really important for us to kind of address it. So then the next day, or like the 2 days later, whenever, we had practice, and we all sat down and we kind of all just like shared our feelings and our thoughts. And I think that was really helpful. I mean, I haven't spoken to the players, honestly, since the end of our season.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that helped or didn't help. And you were with them all summer, so you got to see them.
It definitely helped. I think it's really good. The best thing I could say that has come out of this is, like, for me, I'm very, and I'll say it all the time, especially with my job and what I do. So I'm obviously working with kids every single day. Having them utilize the counseling center is huge for me. And they, like, counselors on campus have come up to me several times being like, we see your girls, and like they're encouraging other people to go, because like it's just so normalized in our group, which I think is truly a gift.
Mm-hmm.
But the best thing that came out of it is that, like, they're like, without even trying, my kids are checking in. Like, we have one player that came who's struggling, and like everyone's like all hands on deck, like, oh, how is she, blah 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 blah, like. But even better to that point is they're good at recognizing, and it also selfishly helped Mackenzie and I as well, because when I was talking to them about like mental health and what works and what doesn't work, and what's their checking point, what's their breaking point, like with that, then it starts having them be able to put pieces together as, how do they want to be coached? How do they respond to this? Like, we have players on our team, like freaking our girl, our midi, she will literally, I'm not going to say her name because obviously, but she's the type of kid where she has said to me several times, when I'm messing up, scream at me. That's the only way I'll know. Scream in my face. And then I have another kid who goes, when I mess up, just know, no matter what you say, it's already being said in my own head, and I don't need to hear it. And I'm already going to shake it and move on. Like, that's the two different. Yeah. And that's just with coaching. Like, and you have to figure out being able to see, like, who can handle it and who not handle it, but like who can get it delivered in X amount of ways, and who shouldn't need it that way because they're already handling it in something else.
Yeah, and they also do a really good job at holding us accountable. Like, there have been times when, for me specifically, like, there have been times where, like, I've said something at halftime, for example, and a player will speak up and be like, no, I don't agree with that. I don't think what you're saying is right.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know, if I didn't know these kids, like, I would be like, the fuck are you talking about? I'm your coach. But, like, because I know them and I respect them so well, and, you know, I admire the fuck out of them,
mm-hmm.
I'm like, thank you. Like, thank you for holding me accountable. Like, thank you for keeping me honest. Like, I'm glad you said something.
There was one time I said something to them, and I was like, I just want to make sure we're real clear on this. Like, I want to make sure that we get it, and, like, I'm trying to push you guys to the best and, like, healthiest way possible, blah, blah, blah. And one of them was just like, I'm ready to move on. Let's just move on. And I needed to hear that, because I'm like, all right, done. Let's go.
We're good.
Let's do it.
And this is I can't speak for you, but this is such a change from how mental health was approached when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, with my coaches, I had coaches. My high school lacrosse coach, like, I feared him. Like, I was scared of that man.
We just got a player who was coached by her coach,
and I mean,
for that
like,
reason.
I respect him. Like, he truly did make me a better lacrosse player, and he is so passionate about the game, but he is so scary. And I was there when he had just started. So then when I went back for a game after I graduated, you know, I was talking to him, and he was like, oh, yeah, like, I went soft. And I wanted to be like, what do you mean you went soft?
Yeah.
If I had to deal with the mental toil in my brain because of all the things you said to me, and now you're telling me you went soft, I was like, God, no. There's no way.
That's not fair.
That's not fair to me. Now, I do respect him, and I do think he's a good coach. But he's not the coach for everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said, you have a player now who transferred from my high school to play here, and my first thought was like, they're not for him. Like, he's not. Mm-hmm. He's just so, he'd break clipboards. Like, he would do things that are, like, intense, and it's kind of like, you know, I'm 15 years old. Like, I'm gonna make a mistake. I'm gonna drop the ball. Like, I'm gonna do these things. And, like, we talked about it with the episode we had with Scout, but I never had a female coach in sports until I was in high school. My high school hockey coach is a woman, and while she was tough, she did a really good job of like understanding the emotions that her team has and understanding the limit she can push us to and finding that sweet spot of like, I'm not going to like baby it, but I'm not going to I'm not going to baby it and under push you, but I'm not going to push you to the point where like you want to get off the ice and like go back to the locker room. I'm going to find that perfect like pushing point. And like some days it might irritate you. Like some people have a bad day and, you know, you might get yelled at or you might get talked to by the coach like a little bit more. But also like when I was in high school, I have this one specific moment of I was the captain. So I thought, you know, because I was the captain, I have the ability to talk to my coach more than the other players do. Because my coach in high school is very big on like, I'm coach and you're players. Know your role. So I thought, you know, I'm captain. I have special privileges. I don't have special privileges. But I went up to her and I was like, what do you think about doing this drill? And she was like, on the line. And the whole team had a skate because of me. But I was like, damn, like now I know. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe that's not the best way to get somebody to like I have my practice plan, just shut up and go away. Yep. But I was like, loud and clear. Yeah. Loud and clear. Understood. But like that moment I like learned, you know, there's a way to talk to my coach. And it's not on the ice in practice. It's after practice when we can like step into her office and talk to her. Like those are the things I learned. And I think what I've carried with me from playing sports and in terms of like my mental health and how I kind of approach it now is like I don't want to say I ignore it because I don't, but like if I have a task or I have something I got to get done, it's like everything else I'm feeling's got to go away. I got to perform. I got to get this shit done. I got to work on it. And, you know, we'll see what happens after that. And I think sports really kind of taught me that there's like a time and place, but also that like you can't push things away forever. And at some point you have to recognize them. And sometimes like if you have a coach, like my lacrosse coach who yells and is loud and aggressive and in your face and is trying to motivate you in that kind of way. And you're like I'm not a kid who responds well to that. And not a lot of people do, I'm sure. But like at some point you're going to get yelled at and you're going to get yelled at and you're going to get yelled at and you're going to hit a point where you can't handle it anymore. You're going to snap. And I think a coach I strive to be is somebody who, you know, my kids are motivated. They're ready to have fun. They're ready to play lacrosse. The sport isn't exhausting for them, but also know that like, I'm not going to take it easy on you. Like if you drop the ball 10 times, I'm going to be like, okay, are you here? Like, yeah, you good? Is your stick working? Like, what's the deal? You know what I mean? And I really had to try to control that as I've had the younger kids now because their skill levels are so different. Some are, you know, naturals and some are just starting. And when you have such a wide, like skill level, like spectrum, it's a lot to just kind of remember, you know, like I have to take a deep breath before I say something and like really think about it and how I'm going to deliver it. And whatever. Because at the end of the day, like I just want them to have fun and love lacrosse. But I just spoke for like 10 minutes. So anything about being a high school athlete, youth athlete with mental health there and how you've, you know, transferred it to how you do things now and who you are and whatever else?
I think the biggest thing that I do now, and it's also just with age and like with my job and what we've been doing, is I listen a lot more. Which I, like anyone, can have the tendency, I wouldn't say with the kids or here at my work, but especially with my family, unfortunately, I'll react, I won't respond. So that's something that I've been working on for a while, and I've been working on it because I never want to do it to them. But I think for me, the biggest thing is like when you said like if a player drops the ball like 10 times, like for me, I've gotten very fortunate enough to be with roughly the same group for a while now, and they're pretty consistent. So when they're not, I'm like, what's up? I'm not, and they'll be like, yeah, I know, like X, Y, and Z happened. And like, it's kind of just, it's trying to find the mental toughness, but making sure that they realize that they're still athletes. So like, I always tell them like time and place too. And like, if you have the emotions and if the only time you can let that out is on the field, then we're just going to sit you for a day, or we're going to accommodate what you need to do during that practice to make sure that you're okay moving forward. Because I never want to strip. It's the Morgan's message, human over athlete. And like I said, it's them all the time, and they've gotten pretty invested in that amazing organization as well. So yeah, I just check in a lot more with them now. Like even like, I mean, I see all their grades because I get pinged on all of them. So like when like my honors kids are doing something that's like not usually them, I'm like, what's up? They're like, I'm just so stressed, or I didn't sleep that well, or oh, I'm worried about X, Y, and Z, or especially the kids that are trying to get recruited. It's just like, all right, like next play. Like that's the biggest thing that I feel like we're both heavy on. It's like when our kids mess up, like we know what it's like to get stuck on that one play, and then you start playing a mental game, and then you start playing bad. So like we've said it enough to the point where like I hear some of them saying it now too, and they're like, next play. Like it's gotta be that quick, like shake it, move on. But yeah, I mean, I'm also not going to sit here and say I'm a perfect coach either. I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah.
Even one of our players last year was just like, I gave you a lot of grace because it was your first year and you're a young head coach, and they're just like, and we're just excited to see what you're going to do this year. Like, you just seem more confident. And I was just like, thank you. Thanks, big dog.
Big dog.
But I would say we should wrap it here because we are almost at an hour.
No, exactly. But before we do wrap it up, I do want to say if you have any mental health concerns or you're just looking to talk it out with somebody, you're not alone, and there are people there who are willing to listen. There's hotlines. There's therapists who are basically on call. The access to mental health support is greater than it's ever been, so utilize some resources. We'll make sure to put some underneath the video and, in places where you can find it. So take care of yourself and your brain, and take care of your friends.
Love you guys. Honk honk.
See ya.
And